Imagine you're sitting in your room right now. Your phone is in your hand, your fan is running, everything feels normal. But here's something shocking. Earth is spinning right now, insanely fast. At the equator, the planet moves at about 1,670 kilometers per hour. That's faster than most fighter jets. But we don't feel it, because we're spinning with it. Now, here's the terrifying question. What if Earth suddenly stopped spinning? In 1 second? Not slowly. Not over hours. Instantly. Would we survive? Or would the planet turn into a disaster movie, in real life? Let's find out. The moment Earth stops spinning, the ground stops. But you don't, because your body was moving at 1,670 kilometers per hour. So suddenly, everything on Earth would get thrown sideways like a giant, invisible explosion. Cars, buildings, trees, oceans, airplanes, even you. If you were near the equator, you'd be launched across the land at the speed of a bullet train, multiplied by 10. Imagine a whole city getting slammed into the next city. People would be ripped off the ground. Skyscrapers would collapse like paper. The force would be so violent, it would feel like the entire planet got hit by a cosmic punch. And this isn't science fiction. This is pure physics, because inertia doesn't care if you're ready. Now let's talk about the oceans, because the oceans would become Earth's biggest weapon. When Earth stops spinning, water keeps moving. And water doesn't stop gently. It would continue rushing eastward, creating mega tsunamis taller than skyscrapers. Imagine waves the size of mountains, slamming into every coastline on the planet. Entire countries near the ocean would be erased in minutes. The water would smash into continents, flooding deep inland. Cities like New York, Mumbai, Tokyo, Chennai, London would become submerged ruins. And this isn't even the worst part, because as the oceans move, Earth itself would start to reshape. Right now, Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's slightly bulged at the equator, because spinning creates a small outward force. But if Earth stops spinning, that bulge disappears. Meaning, the planet would slowly try to reshape into a more perfect sphere. And what does that mean? It means the oceans would begin moving toward the poles. Massive amounts of water would shift. Entire sea levels would change. Some places would become dry ocean floors. Other places would become permanent flooded zones. And Earth's surface would crack, because continents and tectonic plates would struggle to adjust. Earthquakes would shake the planet non-stop. Volcanoes could erupt more frequently. The world would become unstable, like a planet under construction. But the most terrifying thing? The air. The atmosphere is also moving with Earth's rotation. So if Earth suddenly stops, the air keeps moving at extreme speeds, meaning the entire planet would be hit with winds faster than any storm ever recorded. Not 100 kilometers per hour. Not 200 kilometers per hour. We're talking about 1,000 plus kilometers per hour winds. That's stronger than hurricanes. Stronger than tornadoes. It would be like the entire planet is inside a giant jet engine. Buildings would be shredded. Forests would be flattened. Dust, debris, and fire would fill the air. The sky would become black. Breathing would become impossible. And for the first few hours, Earth would look like a destroyed planet from another galaxy. But let's say, somehow, a few humans survive. Maybe underground. Maybe in bunkers. Maybe in mountains. What happens next? Earth would no longer rotate, which means one side of Earth would face the sun continuously, and the other side would face darkness continuously. That means a day would last 6 months, and a night would last 6 months. The side facing the sun would become a burning desert world, Temperatures could rise beyond 50 degrees Celsius and even higher. Oceans would evaporate. Plants would die. The land would dry and crack. Meanwhile, the dark side would become a frozen nightmare. Temperatures would drop below minus 50 degrees Celsius. Everything would freeze. The oceans would become ice. The atmosphere could collapse into snow-like oxygen crystals. So Earth would become a planet of extremes. Half fire, half ice. So, would Earth become completely dead? Not exactly, because there would be one strange place where survival might still be possible. The border between day and night. A zone called the Terminator Line. This is the narrow region where sunlight meets darkness. Not too hot, not too cold. Like an eternal sunset zone. If humans ever tried to survive, this would become the only habitable belt. People would be forced to build cities that move slowly, following the twilight zone, like nomads chasing the last safe temperature on Earth. It would feel like civilization is trapped in a narrow strip, while the rest of the planet is unlivable. And it gets even crazier. Because Earth's magnetic field would also change. Earth's rotation plays a major role in maintaining its magnetic field. The spinning molten core creates a dynamo effect, which generates our protective magnetic shield. This shield blocks deadly solar radiation. But if Earth stopped spinning, over time, the magnetic field could weaken. And if that happens, Earth becomes exposed. Solar winds would hit the atmosphere directly. Radiation levels would rise. The ozone layer could break down, and surviving would become even harder. The planet would slowly start becoming more like Mars, a harsh, exposed world. Now here's another mind-blowing effect. If Earth stopped spinning, the Moon's orbit could change too. Because Earth and Moon are connected through gravity and tides, tidal forces could shift dramatically. Over thousands of years, the Moon might drift differently. And Earth's oceans, if any remain liquid, would have unpredictable tides. The planet would no longer have the stable rhythm we've always known. Everything would become unfamiliar. The sky would look the same, but Earth would feel like a different planet. So, what if Earth stopped spinning? In the first few seconds, most life would be destroyed. The winds would erase cities. The oceans would drown continents. The planet would shake with earthquakes. And after that, Earth would become a world of endless day and endless night. Only a thin strip of land would remain livable. And even then, radiation, temperature shifts, and lack of stable ecosystems would make survival nearly impossible. But here's the scariest part. Earth's rotation is one of the reasons life exists at all. It's not just day and night. It's climate, oceans, winds, balance. Without it, Earth becomes a silent planet, floating in space, like a warning. And now the real question is, if Earth's spin is so important, how many other planets out there lost their balance before life could ever begin? Maybe Earth isn't lucky because it has life. Maybe Earth is lucky because it never stopped. If you enjoyed this What If, subscribe to What If Beyond Reality, because the universe has millions of terrifying questions, and we're going to explore all of them.